Welcome. This is Big Bob's Community Viewpoint. Today we're going to have a TV show and we have a special guest today. We're going to talk about, we have no real subject, we're going to talk about everything in general and see where we touch. We have guest Debbie. How do you pronounce your last name?
Hi, I'm Debbie Puglisi.
And you're running for?
I'm running for Nassau County Legislator in the 5th District, which covers the majority of Baldwin, the majority of Freeport, small part of Oceanside, small part of Merrick, a little bit of Rockville Center, and all of South Hempstead.
And we're going to help get her point across and try to get her. We represent Hempstead Uniondale Times and also the Freeport division of the paper. And we have an online setup also, so we'll try to hook you up. You'll get your card and list it on the newspapers and stuff like that. And she's going to be here for about 5 minutes. She has another appointment to go to, and she's going to come back next week at 3 o'clock, and we, go into more details and stuff like that. And that's basically it. We're going to touch on different subjects. Coliseum is going to be happening shortly. I got some information. Greater Uniondale Coalition, GWAC. I represent a nonprofit, Broken Hearts Helping Hands. I'm on a committee in Hempstead, rebuilding of Hempstead, which is going to be about a $3 billion deal. And we're trying to make sure that it happens this time. And not only happens, it trickles down to the right people where you get jobs and affordable housing and eliminate a lot of the problems that's in Hempstead. And we're going to coordinate it with Uniondale and the Coliseum and make it one basically community and try to get the rest of Nassau rebuilt, creating lots of jobs and everything else. Now tell us a little bit about yourself and your campaign and why you want to run and why the people should vote for you. Simple.
All right, well, I've been living in Baldwin for over 23 years now with my husband. We have a 12-year-old son. I'm very active in the community. I've been a member of the Chamber of Commerce in Baldwin on their board of directors for the last few years now. So I'm very in touch with what's going on in the area. I'm very involved with the Bay Park Sewage Treatment Plant, which is something that's vitally important to our area because the majority of Nassau County is using the Bay Park Sewage Treatment Plant, and that is in dire need of repair. So that's a very big issue. The police precinct, we absolutely need to keep that in Baldwin. That's a big issue that we've been actively pursuing and working on. That services not only Baldwin, but the whole First Precinct covers Freeport and Rockville Center, which a lot of people don't realize because all of the felonies are handled through the First Precinct. So that's more important than a lot of people in those towns realize. And it extends well past that as well.
Yeah, I know they had some problems when Sandy happened with the water stuff, so that's very important that we could touch on.
Right, well, what they wanted to do with as far as the precinct, they were going to merge the First Precinct with Seaford, and then Seaford had a lot of problems with the water, so they've gone back to their original plan of keeping the First Precinct in Baldwin, and they're going to move forward with that hopefully soon. Also with Sandy, I mean, South Freeport and South Baldwin were both hit really hard, as was Freeport and South Merrick, which are all in my area, and it's going to be 10 months at the end of this month, and we're still doing a lot of rebuilding, and I think a lot of people don't realize how devastated some people are that they're still not back in their homes, and we really need to make sure we get whatever funding we can for those people.
But I know that's for a fact, because I have Big Bob's free metal pickup. I do recycling. I drove down those streets when you couldn't even fill up my truck 4 times a day and whatever with my workers. And they wanted us to come back again, and we just exhausted all day. It was devastating. I mean, it's still really not back, And the biggest problem was with the insurance. If you had $100,000 worth of damage, now they're telling you to rebuild it, it's gonna cost $150,000, and the insurance company is giving you $33,000, and that's all, the best you can get. That's a real problem, and FEMA, I was in a couple meetings with the FEMA stuff, and it was like hard because they wasn't really issuing money, and they just, you know, if your house needs $100,000 repair, and they're saying you can't rebuild it at that because now you need special lifting and has to be higher and different, you know, sandy type hurricane stuff. But now it's 150 and they give you 33. You're lucky. Now you got everything gutted. You got everything, dumpsters and everything else, everything torn apart, and you're lucky you can even get it back to livable.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that still aren't back in their houses yet. And the Friends of Freeport's been doing a fantastic job. They're out, you know, every weekend, sometimes during the week, and they're just doing what they can to help everybody to rebuild, to get back in their homes. They're helping with not only interior, they're helping with exterior. There's always projects that you can, you know, they're always looking for volunteers as well.
Right. It was like unbelievable the way. So basically what's trying to happen now is they're rezoning a lot of areas for the different parties and stuff like that, and some people are kind of upset at some of the rezoning. I don't know if it's anything with your district or whatever.
Well, they've done a lot of redistricting in the legislative districts. Right now, the 5th District encompasses Merrick from Meadowbrook Parkway to Merrick Avenue, and then Sunrise Highway to Merrick Road, which I don't believe it encompassed before. And I think I also have more of Freeport than there used to be. I have the majority of Freeport except the southeastern corner, east of the nautical mile, south of Merrick Road. And there's a small pocket above Lena Drive that I don't have as well. But other than that, I think I have the bulk of Freeport.
Okay, well, that's very good. Actually, I have one little simple question. Who are you running against?
The Democrats need a primary, so that hasn't been decided yet.
Oh, okay, so...
So on September 10th, we'll know.
So who's in the seat now?
Right now, Joe Scanella's in the seat. He's decided not to run again, so I'm
Okay.
running for an open seat.
Okay, and how much competition you have? Who else is running?
Well, the two Democrats are either Laura Curran or Jack McCloy, and they'll have a primary September 10th, and then we'll take it from there. And
Okay.
I'll see who I'm running against. I'm running on the Republican, Conservative, and Independent line.
Okay, that's cool. And if we vote for you, or people vote for you, what, you know, changes you can... What's your ideas? What makes you different than anybody else?
I'm just really looking to be a stronger voice for the community and get us our fair share. I need to, you know, I live here and I want to stay here. I'm not looking to go anywhere. I want to do what I can to keep the taxes low. I want to be able to continue to afford to live here. I want my son to be able to grow up and be able to live here. And, you know, you want your seniors to be able to stay. I mean, it's very difficult right now for people to pay these kind of taxes that we're paying and get by and make ends meet. So we really need to just toe the line on taxes like Ed Mangano's been doing for the last, you know, few years that he's been in office, and we just need to keep, you know, pushing along, consolidating where we can, and, you know, just work together.
Sounds good. I've been getting a lot of questions about younger people can't afford to live here. They go to school here or someplace else and they come back to Long Island and they almost got to live with their parents or something like that because they can't find a good living wage job to stay here. A lot of younger people, you know, 21 to 35 are really
they're
kind of like moving away because they just can't afford it because
well,
there's really not...
Well, when you look at the property tax, now 3/4 of the property tax is made up by your school taxes, but when you look at your nut of taxes, it's $10,000 that you're paying if you own a house on Long Island.
Right.
So if you're paying $10,000 in taxes, you've got to be making how much money to live here? I mean, do the math. It's almost $1,000 a month is taxes.
At least the $110,000 is the average person living. That's
and you're not going to make that when you get
County.
out of college. That's not going to happen when you get out of college.
Right.
So
we
how
need
do you
more
afford to buy
affordable
a house?
housing.
We
Right.
really do.
And that's some of the things that they're supposed to be doing in the new Renaissance downtown in Hempstead. It's going to be a $3 billion project. And there's going to be 3,500 units. And according to the law, we was on the committees. We actually got it in law that they have to give back 25% for the residents of the village of Hempstead for affordable housing, not really low income, but affordable housing. And they
Right.
have to give 25% of the jobs to the residents of
community.
the village of Hempstead. And if they can't find the 25%, they're gonna go around the surrounding, Roosevelt, Freeport, with low poverty type numbers. And then they'll include that. And it includes training programs and living wage jobs, and we're making deals with the unions and all of that to kind of really, and that's going to be part of your
Right, well, you have to
district.
get everybody on board if you want to
Right,
get something.
and that's what we're trying to do.
through.
Actually,
Right.
there's a big meeting tonight in Destination, Long Island.
Oh, I'll be there.
Okay,
That's at Molloy College.
yes, I'll see you there.
Okay,
All right,
I'll see you there. I'll
Uh,
be a little bit late. I have a prior engagement, but I will
Okay,
be
but
there.
anyway, okay, well, I'll give you,
Okay.
I'll tell them you're coming
Yeah,
anyway.
absolutely.
So I'm gonna be
Baldwin
there, and
is-
that's supposed to be basically the 2% of the new, people who wanna, movers and shakers and people that have
Right.
some money and resources to change things, and that's what we're gonna go.
Exactly. Baldwin's is one of the communities that was selected for this project with Long Island Destination.
Okay,
I think they're one of
wonderful.
the
all
top
right.
three. I think
We
that
have
they
a lot
were
more in
working
common
with.
than I even thought. See
Exactly.
that?
But
okay.
so that should be a really good program to try to make more of a
Right.
walkable downtown.
Okay, and I'm also, before you go, I'm involved with Broken Hearts Helping Hands, which is a charitable organization. And we help homeless and the working poor and all kinds of, let's see, where's the card, someplace right here. And,
Okay.
yeah, I'll let you read it out loud to the audience over there. So.
What we do, they help homeless people and working poor community activists, immigration reform, men's shelter, career training, entrepreneurship, and job creation, small business and financial consulting. Oh, sounds like you do a little of everything then.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So that's one of the groups that we're launching. I have the Big Bob Free Metal Pickup, which is the regular profit-making company that tries to support the other groups and all of that. I'm
Okay.
also with Computers for Kids. We help with computers for kids, not actually brand new computers. We build computers, so they got to take them home and do their homework.
Okay.
It's not for gaming and all that fun stuff, because if you buy them a new computer, they're going to play games.
Right.
We get, a nice,
So they can type their reports.
and do their homework and all of that
research,
stuff
okay.
without a thing. So we have raffle tickets and we have different cans around, and we try to help with that. And, then I'm hooked up with the newspaper also, so we're gonna try to sit down and write an impartial
Okay.
little story about you and all of that
very
kind of
nice.
stuff or whatever. I have actually the clout enough to do that.
Okay. Well,
And,
it sounds like
you
you've
know-
got a lot of great things that you've got
Yeah,
going on
and
here.
that's the whole idea of this show, to community viewpoint, community works and whatever, and we're gonna, fair and equal.
Okay.
I actually have a nonprofit, so I can't really endorse,
Okay.
any,
All right, but I appreciate you
but,
letting me come on and say hi to
and that's the
everybody
idea.
today. Okay.
It's, whatever, and I think you have a really good, and you did a fantastic job.
Okay, thank you.
Even after I had that, almost forced you to come on, but she was absolutely terrific, and I thank you so much, and you
Okay.
can be back next week, and you could,
Next week I'll come back,
Uh,
we'll be a little more prepared,
yes.
have a little more time.
okay, and, bring some things that you would like help with or whatever, and,
Okay.
whatever, and I'm gonna give you some hints.
Okay.
How to win the election.
Okay, go for it.
The best campaigner that ever was basically Obama. How he did it was step by step, block by block. Go out, you go get young college kids. I don't know what your campaign is or whatever, but go get some young college kids, and computer-wise. They have maps, they have everything. Get a block captain. They have, I'm sure
Right,
that
yes.
they have block captains. Those block captains know everything that's going on in that block. That means who's going to be on vacation, who's going to be absentee ballots, who's going to be for what houses, what kind of fixing up each block needs. And you try to help get that done. And transportation. An older person living on a block registers to vote, you make sure they get to
They
the
have
polls.
to get there, absolutely.
And that they're registered.
Well, I know it's a little early, but I've already been going out door to door.
Right.
pounding the pavement and,
Right.
you know, taking as much time with the residents
Right.
as need be to see
Right.
what their issues
And people are concerned about the school districts.
Yes.
They're concerned about the lower taxes. You know, the social service stuff, all of that they're not getting outcomes. You know, you get in the system, and a lot of people, for the first time, got in the system because of Sandy, because of, you know, a lot of investors bought a lot of houses. Then they couldn't pay the mortgages. So people are paying them rent, and the bank repossessed the houses, and the people are on the street, and now they're into the social service stuff and the nightmare, and it's almost it's very hard to get out. And that's all stuff we need outcomes. You don't need, you know, even with AA and substance abuse or whatever, most places around here in Nassau County are getting 15% outcomes. But you go other places like Louisville, Kentucky, you get 65% outcomes. They're actually following it. And why is it working? Because they're following for the next 7 years. Because you over here, they slap you on the wrist, and the first time you take a drink, they throw you out again. Well, that doesn't work.
Right.
You're guaranteed, if you have a substance abuse or alcohol problem or whatever, you're going to fall down 6 or 7 times before you, whatever. And you got to do it because, not because the jail said you have to get straight or whatever it is, you got to do it when you hit bottom, that you want to do it for yourself. And that's all the stuff that has to be done, and that's what we try to do and talk about, and we need funding for, and we need, you know, good representatives like yourself to get in the thing and help us do what we're supposed to do, not just put a Band-Aid on it and whatever.
Right.
All right, so anyway,
Well, it was very
you're getting
nice to
ready
meet
to
you.
leave, so
Okay,
and
thank
your
you.
last statement or whatever you want to do, and
My last statement, you know what, I really just want to be a stronger voice for the community, get us what we deserve, and I do have my pulse on what's going on. I've been out there, I've been talking to the residents, I've been to the meetings in all the different communities, and I'm very optimistic that I'm going to have a very positive outcome come November. I hope you'll all come out and vote.
And I like
If,
what your card says, stronger voice for the community, and that's what we're all about, community. And there's our card right there. Can you focus in on that? Good? All righty, very
All right.
good.
Thank you.
And
Okay.
good.
All right.
All right, very good, excellent.
Thank you.
All right.